Tough game. Obviously a tough loss. Tough game. Tough game. Obviously a tough loss. I thought Patriots did a good job just coming out with intensity to start the game, try to set the tone. We came back, but they never lost that intensity. They never lost that drive. Turned the ball over way too many times. Too many wasted possessions. Defensively, right, we held them to 69 points. We're a team that scores 90, right? We got stuck at 67. Just a lot of wasted possessions. Getting stops, going down the floor, ill-advised shots or missing a few easy shots. And, we just never found our rhythm that way. And then, I think Patriots did a good job just staying aggressive, trying to disrupt as much as possible, I don't want to take anything away from them. We just weren't our best tonight.
Was Patriots big opponent tonight?
Patriots is always a big opponent, always. APR against Patriots is a big game. It doesn't matter what the records are. Since I've been here, that game is always tight every single time. There's going to be a battle every single time. One thing Sonny has those guys doing, he has those guys playing hard. Those guys are playing hard every single night. They're playing hard, winning 50-50 balls, getting rebounds, just fighting and scrapping as much as possible. So my hat goes off to them. That style of game kind of mucks the game up, makes the game a little messy. And if you're not good at executing consistently through a game with them, you can struggle. That's what happened to us tonight.
Adonis, you lose the game. In your point of view, what was missing for you to win the game of tonight?
Just more intensity from our guys. There's a lot of distractions leading up to the game, as far as game starting late and everything, not giving us an excuse because they had to prepare the same way. But just the intensity, we didn't come out with that intensity that we normally have, and we started late, so that kind of bit us in the back.
Coach, you remain with the last game against the RSSB Tigers. What do you plan for the last game of the regular season?
As always, just like they're going to, everybody's going to plan to win, right? Everybody's going to prepare. For us, I think this game is fresh. We have to, take the weekend off. Guys have to get rest, regroup, look at the things that we've done wrong, things we can improve at, and just try to come out Friday and do a better job. Obviously, Tigers is another strong team. We've been having strong game after strong game after strong game down the stretch. So, we just have to be resilient and but we'll do most of our planning next week.
Coach, thank you. I'm Patrick from Radiant TV4. First of all, tell us, maybe I need to help you. This is maybe the first game you score fewest points in the game in this league. So, what do you think was the reason for that?
Like I said, execution. We had 20 turnovers. We had good stops, good opportunities that we didn't convert. Guys cutting, the pass being, dropped out of bounds, losing our balance sometimes. We didn't get the best whistle tonight either, right? But in a game like this, especially with Patriots that's setting a physical tone, it desensitizes the eyes of the referee. So you have to stay aggressive or be aggressive to be able to get fouls, right? We weren't aggressive enough tonight to be able to draw that whistle.
What do you think it was the reason?
No, I agree with Coach. We talked about that at halftime. Our execution really wasn't the best, which in turn made our offense look not that good. So yeah, execution played a big role for us.
Okay, Coach. The rest question. Now there is the regular season is going. I think APR is already covered in the playoffs. Tell us how are you going to prepare for the playoffs? What areas are you going to focus on improving?
Definitely rebounding. I think the last few games we just haven't been good on the glass. Today we were good on the glass, and we were even it in the second half. We were much better, but just down the stretch of the season, we just haven't been good enough on the glass as far as pursuing the basketball, getting guys, boxing guys out. So that's definitely something. And again, just continuing to mold ourselves into our style of play, being able to play with speed. Tonight we didn't play with speed. That was a key to the game for us, was to be able to get into our execution faster. We weren't smooth, we weren't fluid tonight. As AD said, we had a lot of distractions heading into the game, not an excuse, internally, externally, right? We just got to make sure that we can lock in at game time every single night. So definitely mental preparation for us.
Coach, as defending champions, is the goal the same? Is the goal the same?
Yes, of course, you want to win a championship, but when you're winning, every year it gets harder. Every year it gets more difficult. You have to win a different way. You have to be able to do something different, right? So we're preparing for it. I think all of the teams that have qualified so far they all have high level. They all have unique abilities and strengths that have allowed them to continue to be at the top of the league. We hit on Patriots. Tigers is a very physical team. They've done well as well defensively, and Reg as well. So, the goal is always to win. We just got to make sure that we prepare ourselves to the best we possibly can to be able to defend, the championship.
Thank you, Coach, and we wish you all the best.
Thank you.